Welcome back friends, you are watching Create Router DOM from Scratch series under the mission Code Something Extraordinary. So this is a part 4 of that, and in the previous parts we actually created our router. So that one is just the basic router. So we created the context for that and we have used that. Today in this video we are going to create a route. So we are going to handle the routes here. So we are going to handle the basic routes. And after that, in the next video we are going to start with our creation of the components such as link and further components, so that we can complete our React Router DOM, and after that we are going to improve it. So now, without wasting any time, so let's start creating our basic routes. So this is our coding section here, and here we have created the router already, and we have some push state here. Just we have added like window.push like that one. So we are going to change this as well. And for now, on the pop state, so whenever our state is getting popped and then it is getting changed, so then this runs. So we have to handle this as well. And the third thing what we are going to do, so third thing, we have the set routes here. So we are going to create the functions for those for this routes one. And also we have to create one more component, so that one is the route component. So first of all, today we are going to handle the routes here. So we are not going to create the route component for now, just we are going to handle the routes. So that routes we are going to handle with the help of function only. So we just are going to pass some props in this router, and we are going to handle with that. And in the next video, so we are going to handle with the route component as our React Router do. So now what we have to do, so first of all let's remove this. So here we have a history and just we are pushing the state. Also we have to do one function here. So first of all, what we want, so whenever our state is getting changed, so we need two more states here. So that state will be the path. So we also have to know so on which path we are currently now, and we have to use the state as of now. We can get that with the window location API as well. So window.location.pathname, and we are going to utilize that as well. But if we are using some hooks, such as we have to create the hooks of used location, so under that we need some state as well. So that's why we can use this here. So here we have this string, it will be of type string, and by default the path will be the home path. And let's move forward, and here after the path we need one more thing. So do we have any state for this one or not? So what is the state of this route, of our current route? So this will give us things like faster, so it's better. So state can be of, this can be of any type, and for now this is null, or yeah, null is better. Now let's handle this pop state first. So how we can handle this pop state, so we are going to create one function, so that will handle this, handle pop state, and here also handle pop state. And here I'm going to create a function, so that is handle pop state, and here we are going to use the window location API to set our state, as well as we are going to set our path here. So how we are going to do that, so let's see now. So first of all, we are going to set the path, and the path will be window dot location dot path name. Yeah, we have to add the path name here. And here, why I am able to access the window API, so because I am using this inside the use effect. And why I am able to use this, because I am not running this function whenever our component is getting created. So I will get the error only then when I will run this function. For example, so I'm cloning this, uh, I'm just copying this, and by default I'm running this function here. So here I will not have access to the window API because our browser environment is not ready yet. Our component is getting compiled, our component is getting created. So that's why we will not have any access to this window. So it will result us the error. So that's why we always do these functions in the use effect, because whenever the component is getting created and component is mounted, so then it will run. So as it is same like as component did mount. So now let's move forward. Actually forgot one thing. So here we will set the state as well. So whenever we will add the function to the event listener, so we will have access to the event, and this event will be the pop state event. So this is a pop state event interface, and then just we are going to set our state, and that state will be event dot state. Sorry, not event, so it will be e dot state. That's it. So now we have the state here as well. So now let's move forward, and let's don't waste our time, and we are going to create one component here. So let's create the routes component, so which will handle all the routes for us. So here we have some errors, so don't worry. Actually we have to send the state as well, so let's send that as well. Let's send the path, and it can be of type string, and we are going to share the state as well. So for now we are sharing this. It will be of type any, and we are going to share path and state. That's it. So this, we are not just completing it. So first of all, like, we are understanding this one, and we are moving step by step, and this is not the final product yet. So here let's go to the components, and inside the components we are going to create a folder. So that folder will be of routes. So we are going to create the routes folder. So this will be the same as routes which we have in the React Router DOM version 6, and this router will act like a browser router, so that we all already using. So please watch my previous video first. So you can see that we are using the router here, and we have the access for the router here as well from the hooks, and we are also consoling that, and in the main we are applying the browser router, so which is having a children. So here we are going to create a routes here. So now here we are creating a routes here, and you might have one question. So first of all, let's create a component. So this one is the routes component, and which will take the children's. For now I don't want to have here children's. I have to create the interface as well for this. So let's create the interface as well. Interface I routes props, and it will be having children, and those are not mandatory for now, and it will be of type like React node or anything, or it can be of type JSX. Yeah, React node or JSX. So React node will come from React, and JSX will also come from React. Sorry, it is not from the React. So this is just a type. Okay, we can remove it. That's not a challenge for us. And here what we are going to get. So here we have to get the routes. So routes should be in the array, and here it will be of the type route, and we have already created the type route, I think. Let's see if we have created. Yeah, we have created this, and I'm just going to export it for now. Then we are going to rearrange these all types in some common place. So I have the route type here, and our routes will be having that same thing. and here we are going to get the routes as well, and it will be of type functional component react.fc, and we will be having the irouter props. That's it. And here we are going to return, first of all, let's export default routes, and here we are going to return something. So what we are going to return something, so that we are going to see here. Before that, how we are going to set up all the routes, how we are going to handle all the routes, so those we are going to handle with the help of hook that we have created. So this is a use router hook. So I'm going to use router, and here let's see what we are getting. So we are getting many things. So we are getting path, we are also getting a state, and we are getting a routes as well, but we don't need any push or set routes. Yeah, we need the set routes as well. So let's add set routes, so because we have to set the routes here, and here we have some conflicts between these routes. So let's get stored, or let it be route stack, let it be like that, or route cache. Yeah, route cache. That's great. So we are using this from the use routers, and for now I am just returning one thing with h1 routes works, and I can tell the path as well. Just save this. So now we are going to use this routes here, and I'm going to export default as routes from the same routes. Just save it. And now we are going to use this in our app component. So let's go back there, and let's see if in the index.ts, in our main index.ts, we have something. Yeah, here we should have one thing, that is export all from components. That's it. I think it's right. It is from component/components. Yeah, that's it. So we have the router, so don't worry about this. These are not errors, these are just warnings here, because we are not using all these. And let's go to the app.tsx, and in the app.tsx, here we have the hello from the React router DOM, and here we are going to use the routes. So for now I'm making it like this. I'm missing the type, so I need the types of the routes. So by default I will not have any route, and it will be a empty array. So as children's can be there, or it can be there or not, because that one is optional. So in the routes you can see here this one is optional, so that's why it's up to you. For now we are making it optional, and later on we will make this as mandatory, or it can be like feature for us. So here we have all the routes. When I'm going to save it, and we should have something. So let's go back, and here we are getting route works, but here we are not getting the path. So that's insane. We are not getting a path here, so we should get a path. So that's because whenever router is getting hit, so we are not actually getting the path here. Our state is not getting pushed like popped here, so that's why we are not able to get this thing. So for this thing, what we can do, so we can add the same thing. We can just set the path here, and by default, and after that here if we want to set the state, you can do that as well, but I will not do that. So when I will save this, you can see that our path is the slash. For now it is slash. That's great. So now let's set the paths here. So let's add some routes in the app.tsx, let's add the routes here, and we will add like one or two routes. So those will be basics, and we will not have any parameterized route. So I will only create two routes here. So let's create that. Then we are going to handle it, or I'm going to create the routes here. Const routes, let it be all routes, and it will be of type route like this, and it will be of array, and we are going to have the routes here. So let the route be, first of all we will be having the path, and by default it will be a slash. So we will also check if it is having a starting from a slash or not. So if it is not starting from a slash, we will add the slash for now, because we are using the array, so that's why. And here it needs the component as well, so that's why we have to import the component as well. So we have a component. I think I have the component spelling wrong. Let's go to the router, and here we will have component. So these are the right spelling. Any entry, yeah, and let the component be like this. So for now just add this component, so that will be the h1, and here we will be having the welcome to the home page. So we should have this. So this one is just a basic component. So we are just doing a basics for now, and we will move step by step and making it more advanced. And I will not make this video too long. So let's move ahead, and let's add another route, and let it be the contact here. And here we will have the component, and this component will be same like this, and just we will have welcome to the contact page. That's it. And we are going to use these all routes here. Just paste it. So we have all routes. And for now, what you can see anything, because we haven't done any change, we haven't handled these routes yet. So let's go here and let's handle these routes first. So first of all, before handling these routes, so I'm going to add one paragraph here as well, just to show you what are these routes here, if we are getting any routes or we are not. Here we have the routes here, and just I'm going to json.stringify the routes. Just save it, and let's see what is the change. So you can see that here we have a route here. So this one is we have the path, and here also we have the path, but we don't have a component, so component will not be able to show, but we have this thing. And let's move forward and let's handle these. So how we can handle these? So to handle these, first of all we have to set the routes, and after setting the routes we have to match the routes here. So let's do this. Let's take no much time, and let's do this and complete it. So matching the route is very easy. So this is not actually a rocket science. So here we need some few things. So first of all we need one thing, so that will be the like our routes are loaded or not. So let's add that. Let's add the state here, routes loaded, and set routes loaded, and by default this will be off. This will be a use state, and I'm going to import this from the React, and this will be of type boolean, and by default it will be false. That's great. And let's move forward, and here we will have the current route. So using this state only we are going to render our component. So first of all, in the use effect, like we are going to process the route, and there we are going to find so what is our current route by matching the routes here. So first of all, in the processed routes, what we are going to do, we are going to set all the routes in our router, and after that we are going to find that particular route. And why we are doing this? This is because so whenever we are going to change the state, every time our this routes component is getting created. So like it will get created or it will not also create this one, because just I am seeing this if the path is ever changing or not. So if our path is getting changed, so then we are actually again processing the route. So this thing we are doing here, and we are going to handle that in the use effect, and we will have some problems here, so I will do it step by step. So let's move forward, and here we have this use state, and here we are going to check what is our current route. So that will be of the type route array, and it will be null. Sorry, this will not be a array, so it will be the null, and for now it is null. And here we have this current route, and we are going to set the current route here. That's great. And let's add the use effect here. So in the use effect, we are going to first of all set routes loading to false. So we are setting this to false, and by default it will be like true here. And then we are going to load the routes. So we are going to load our all routes here, and here I'm not going to pass anything, so just I will have a function load routes, and here we are going to set all the routes to the set routes. And how we are going to do that? So you can see when I'm going to the router, so here we have a routes here, and it is having a of type route, and the same type route we are passing there. So we are passing in the routes component. So just we are going to set the routes to our routes. That's it. So actually this thing we can do in the use effect as well, but I'm adding this in a separate function because later on we have to do lot of functionalities in this load routes function. So that's why I'm setting up here. So after the routes are loaded, I'm going to import this use effect as well from the React. So now after loading the routes, we have to match the current route. So here route will be there, and it will return us route or it will return us null. So that will be the match route function, and it will be having the path. So that is our current path, and also I'm going to create one function, so that will be the get routes function. Although we can get this from a state, but as we are in the use effect, so we will not able to get that. So for that I have to use the function, so that is the get routes. So this get routes function is not available yet, so that's why we have to go to the router and we have to create this function. So this function will be the get routes, and it will do the thing, so it will return us the routes. That's it. So it will do nothing other than this. And here we are going to pass the get routes, and also we are going to pass it here in this interface get routes, and it will be a function, and it will return route like this. That's it. So now we don't have any error here, and now we have to create one function, so that will match the route. Const match route, and it will be having two things. First is path, so path will be of type string, and the second thing it will be having, so that will be the routes. I will write underscore routes, and it will be of type route. That's it. And this will be the arrow function, That's great. So now let's move forward. And here what we are going to do. So here we have to match the path. So matching the path is very simple. So just we are going to return as we are using the array. So we just have to find here will be the underscore route, and which will be of type route, and we don't need the index here. And here just we are going to check if underscore route dot path is equals to, and just we are going to replace the state as well. I have to do one thing, so I'm going to first of all lowercase it, and then I'm going to split, not split, I'm just going to check if it is starting with the slash or not. So I have to check that as well. So for that what I can do here, so before finding it I can add thing here. So that is actually we have to do something more. Before that let's add the curly braces here, and here we are going to check. So here we have the route, and I will write it as RTE, and here we are going to check if underscore route dot path dot contains, or let it be starts with, if it is starting with slash, so then what I'm going to do here, just I'm going to add this route. Just I'm going to send this path here, route path, and we will have this route path. Otherwise we are going to add the slash in the front of that, and we'll be having this route dot path. That's great. Let's go ahead, and here we are going to return, and we are going to check if this route path is equals to with, and also I have to like lower the case for this one, dot to lowercase this with our path dot to lowercase. That's it. So it will return us that particular route, otherwise it will return us null. That's great. Or let's write here null, or it will return us null if it is not able to get. So we have the route now, and here we are going to check if there is a route. So if there is a route, so then what we are going to do, so we are going to set the component. So if there is route, we are going to set the component set current route component, or let it be current route, so that we are going to set it as a route here, and later on we are going to set route loaded as true. That's great. So our routes are loaded. Now here we are going to do few things. We are going to check if not routes loaded, then what we are going to do here, so just we are going to return null. Otherwise we are going to check if current route is there. If current route is there, so then what we are going to do, so we have to render that particular component here. So we are just going to return, and I'm not going to use this, so just I'm going to return null here if current route is not getting found, and otherwise I'm going to return that particular component, so that will come from current route dot component, and just I'm going to call it like this. So here I'm going to call it like this. So JSX element type does not have the call signature. So here you can see that when I'm going to the router here, and here we have many type. We have the React.component type, and we have React.element type, and after that we have JSX.element. So here we have to check that what type of function it is there. If type of current route, I will write here one function, so that will be the component, and component will be the current route dot component. That's it. If component, if type of component is equals to function, so if it is of type functional component, so then just we are going to return, we are going to call this component. That's it. Else we are going to check if type of component is equals to, and here we are going to check it can be the boolean, function, number, object, string, or like it can be anything. So for that just we are going to do one thing, so we are going to return and call this component here. That's it. Actually this is not also calling. I think we can return this directly without the call. Yeah, we are going to return this component. So I think this will do the work. We don't need the children, and for now we don't need the cache and the state. So that's it. So we have two routes here, so we should see those things. You can see that here we are getting welcome to the home page. So we are on the route, home route, and it is getting loaded. So first time you can see that when I have loaded that, but I have one bug here. When I'm loading it, but I'm not getting that. And here for example I have the test, so when I'm not the test, we have a contact. So when I'm going here and going to the contact, still we are getting the issues. And here you can see that in the app we are getting the object, but here in the hook we are just getting object. So this means that our routes are not getting loaded. And why this so? So let's see. So now let's resolve this error. So solving this issue is very easy. So you can see that we have some problems here. So when in the use effect we have added like set routes loaded by default true. So let's set it to the false first, and let's see if this solves the error. And here we actually got the home page, but when I'm loading it, reloading it, so I'm not getting that. So why this so? But here you can see that routes, I'm also getting routes empty. So this means that our routes is not getting running. So this is because our use effect is not able to get it is running first time, but whenever our path is getting created or our path is getting changed, so it is use effect is not getting it. So for that now we have to use this our dependency array. So in the dependency array we can see that we have a path from the router, use router hook from the router context. So we have to add the path in the dependency array. So but this path will tell, so whenever our path will getting changed, our home route will load, so this use effect will run. So at that time we will get our result. Let's save this and let's go back here, and for now you can see that for now our routes are here. You can see the route, so that is a contact route, and there we have a component here. Now I will reload this. Boom. You can see that I have reloaded this, and first time I don't have the routes. First time I don't have the routes because use effect our routes are getting created, but our routes are not handled yet. So when second time our routes handling get completed, So then again our this will run. So this ran and this gave us this thing. So first time this route is coming from the app.tsx. So this is because our app.tsx is getting created. So when I will go here in the app.tsx, and here we are using the router here, and inside this whenever our component is created, only when we are writing the console log. So that's why we are not able to see the routes, and inside that we have the routes component, and after this console this routes component is getting called. So that's why in the second response we are getting, so say in the second response our this routes means it will like read under the routes, and now there we are getting the routes. So that's how you can see the home page. I'm refreshing again and again, you can see the home page. For now we have two routes here, so we also have to create two routes, that is slash and slash contact. So when I will go here slash contact, you can see we are getting welcome to the contact page. So that's great. So in the code also we have added these things also. So let's add one more route. Let's add the route of like slash test anything, and here we will add the component, and component now will not be having this. So I'm just going to add the h1 here, and I'm going to call the function here, and the component will be welcome to the test page. Save it, and now let's see. I'm going to the test page now, so let's go to the test. Boom, you can see that this is also working, and we have a test page here, and in the array you can see that we have a test page. But if I will go to any random page, so what it will show? So it is not showing anything. Why this so? So this is because I am not rendering anything here. So for that, like in the Next.js, you can see 404 page not found. So we can do that here as well. So just we have to go to the routes, and if routes are not loaded, so this is fine, we are going to return the null. But if route did not find, so then what we are going to do? So I'm going to return the h1. So this h1 will say for error, let it be like 404 route not found. That's it. And when I will go back, I'm getting here 404 route not found. So it can be anything. So it can be anything, it can be any number or anything. So whenever like you can see that only 3 routes we have. So we have this contact, test, and this thing. So when I will go to the home route, I'm getting welcome to the home page, and then here I'm getting welcome to the contact page. That's great. So this is how we have done the basic setup of the routes, and in the upcoming video, so we are going to set up the route component, and also we are going to set up the link component. So we are going to set up these two components in the upcoming video, and then we are going to move advanced, and there we are going to handle the parameterized routes, and after that we are going to update our data structure as well to the radix tree.